Alright, alright. Let's talk about Raw and let's talk about NXT. You see, this is ongoing and we haven't built to like official openings and closes. We just jump straight into it. I don't really this isn't solid enough to be introduced and all the rest of it. This is more of that raw essence. Like you go into the forest looking for what? You're gonna find soil. So let's just deal with it like that for right now. And then as we move further, we'll talk more about that other stuff. But for right now, just deal with it. Now, yo, Ro was alright, man. I wasn't going crazy about it, but it wasn't anything that I was like complaining about neither. Dom Liv Rhea, the knee thing, I guess, damaged the knee. It's a story. Everybody was fine there. Dom and Liv is alright. Like it's moving forward. I think Dom is trying a little too hard with the shut up crowd thing. Like I know he speak way more rapid aggressive Spanish than that, so that's what needs to happen. But if you want to keep it PG, I won't complain. But that's why I'm seeing it now. Everybody else was solid. Um, yeah, everybody else was good, so I don't have any like real call outs there. Rhea was solid. Yeah, everybody else did okay. Like Dom is on the up right now, so I think him just being like that wild card heat magnet is something that it can go either way right now. But moving forward, American made American Alpha Academy, whatever. New look, good. Gable and them, good. Ivy looking good. Creed's looking good. And then this whole Alpha Academy, I mean, it's something. And Maxine with all her spots, so that was like a top moment in the match. Everybody's playing off of each other well. I like that. Let's move on. Okay, now they want to have a street fight next week. Okay, fine. More into the sports entertainmentification of these like very high profile superstars. I mean, I don't like using the word humanize. I think I used that one, but that's not what the way we move in this space. So I think the way that they're going into transition and everything into the ring, I'd like to hear what my guy got to say about it, but I definitely wouldn't complain from my side. So, and then the matches also have like stakes and mean something. So right now things are moving. Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega didn't get to see it. Shayna Baszler beat up Thea. I mean, I can see where it makes sense. I can definitely see where it makes sense. Some form of necessity, like we all love Zelina Vega muchly, and LWO had a good showing last week. Also, what's going on with that? Is she back as a single superstar now? Are they on different brands? Because this is Raw. I know they definitely on SmackDown with the new Phil. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know, but if she not, I mean, like, should keep it down. Um, I tell you, she reminds me of Tigress when it comes to that whole LWO thing. And Dom and Liv. It's all really, really just good stuff. But whatever. Um, yo, I definitely seen something with Lyra Valkyria, and I was thinking about her earlier this week. She popped up on NXT, and it was like, okay, good, but what's she doing? Because it doesn't really seem like she has much happening. And if this is one of those diluted experiments, then it is a little unfortunate. But at the same time, you just got to see it, so this the pattern is definitely of keeping keeping them fresh. Let's keep it like that. So good. Now, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. All right, they moving into the next match at Bad for Blood. I'm not complaining. It's all moving well. Got rid of the bracelet thing. Okay, fine. Let's move on now and see what else they're gonna make of it. Dragunov, B Dragon, Lee and Dom. All right. Triple threat stuff. That was fine. I wasn't mad at that. Good match. It works out. And then yeah, Dragunov getting the win there, it means something. This IC championship, whoever wins is going to be in for it. So, Unholy Union, Damage Control, number one contenders now for Jade and Bianca. Good, good. They about to have that rematch. Now, not having that rematch clause per se. So I'm not mad. They earned their match. They earned it back, but I feel like they could have just. It didn't need to be like that, but I used to say we don't need to have these cats that just lost in the number one contender match or something close to it. Like how are they number one contenders and they just lost, but the rematch thing. Like, so this is all that extra stuff that doesn't even need to matter that much. So there's that. All that was well and good. Let's move into this whole Gunther thing. Oh, is more Raw? Oh, the tag stuff. Good tag stuff. We're gonna get into this Gunther thing in a second. All right, Damian Priest, Jey Uso, Finn Balor, JD McDonough. Man, I almost would say the tag title should have been on the line, but they're fine. I'm not even about to get into any of that right now with the budding romance between, and then just all of the PG element, because there's a lot of PG and just things in the way. So okay, fine, let it play out the way it does, and we'll get there when we get there. Braun Strowman, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. I was looking for Kaiser to win that, but Kaiser's in a real good spot right now. Sheamus is where he's at, and then Braun. All right, so Braun's gonna be in that. Yo, it's gonna be a wild triple, a fatal four-way. Pardon me. All right, so Gunther and Sami Zayn. Shouts to Gunther. Sami Zayn the only cat that beat Gunther. Gunther about to get his win back. Like that's all I'm seeing. I don't have nothing crazy to say about it. I'm glad that Sami Zayn's out there. Glad that he's getting his shot, his spot. Let's move on. I think that's the first thing we need to have put up front. Let's move on. Now they're gonna build and all the rest of that, but I think that Gunther will knock Sammy out on the microphone. I think that Sammy's solid, and all of that IC championship stuff was only in the transitional period. So realistically, if we looking at both of them at 100% on paper, and we all fighting, or they're fighting, Sami Zayn's not gonna win. But I like Sami Zayn, but he's not gonna win. That's just where I'm at with it. I respect him. I like what he does in the ring and all the rest of that, but he's not gonna be that. Now let's move on to NXT. Pardon me. Let's see what this shit about to do. Or not. Oh, lucky me. Alright, so let's get through this, man. Alright, so Pete Dunne and Trick Williams clearly have a very, very heated uh, rivalry or feud going on. And so far as the sports entertainment part, I'm enjoying elements of it. Like last night with Gunther and the promo and all the rest of that, it was okay. I'd clap for it, but at the same time, this shit is getting pretty deep, man. If you're looking at it from the angles I'm seeing it from. Now let's just get there. All right, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, and bro with P Dunne. Yeah, so a lot of ego chatter. Yo, man, this is not the space to be even doing none of this. But if we looking at Pete Dunne just jumping, and he needs to be going for a championship as opposed to just, chasing after Trick at this point. Like I think they're gonna have that happen, but just a lot of hodgepodge. Let's just calm it down. Everybody get in their corners and don't get out of your corners yet. We'll move on. Let's move on. All right. So triple threat was okay. Well, not triple threat, but just all of that. Like, let's get things popping, and we're gonna move as we're moving. Right now, clearly there's a lot of heat there, and you can't just run straight into a burning building. You gotta be trained to know how to do it. So we're still assessing the situation, and if I'm looking at it from a debate stage, then let these sides get their arguments out. Like the early storm weather in that part, like everyone's gonna yell and be mad about what they're mad about. That's them getting in their corners. Once they get in their corners, then we'll be able to move forward from there. So there goes that. Riot Schools, Hank and Tank, Gallus. Alright, Riot Schools win, that's fine. Triple threat, fine. The tag division of NXT is getting alright. Now we just gonna wait and see what we get. Now let's move on. Hmm. Lexis King beat Oro Mensah, I guess. Tatum Paxley beat Rosemary. Damn good. Now before we do that, let's stay on Lexis King and Oro. I mean it's mid card. It's definitely mid card. Strong acts are what we're building. Oro been around for a while now, but he with metaphor. We waiting for Noam to get better, so then the four of them legitimately shouts to LaShawn and Jakara. But once they, get back to full strength, we know that we'll be able to have that strong act again. Just singles, there's something to do. I'm pretty sure it's a match. They make my TV, unfortunately, but at the same time, I'm glad that it happened for them. Keep those reps going. We'll see what happens moving on. Now let's move on. Tatum Paxton and Rosemary. Look, I don't know who this Rosemary chick is. Okay, cool. I don't want to say I don't care, but when you put in her in there with Tatum, like, is it fair? Like, I'm not being fair about it. And then they got sleepy with her, like, that's cool. But then Lyra comes out for the save at the very end. Man, I wasn't even sold on that storyline to begin with. But if Lyra learns what words to use, then I think we might be able to get somewhere with it. Like, it's gonna show how weird you really are. She's fairly unusual. I'll say that. Unorthodox, definitely different, but weird. Hmm. We are not gonna let that one just go right ahead. I don't like it. It feels very backwards to me. So, yeah, no. I think the abstract nature that is her character has so much space to develop, and then her in-ring skill is where it's at. Just looking at what she was capable of doing in the ring, I'm so glad. Fine, I'll be waiting weeks on end sometimes for her and one more. So we'll just wait it out. Got to see what we got to see. It was good. Tatum won, good. Sleepy was there, good. Sleepy and Rosemary. I mean, what are we getting out of that? I think that's the high profile personally. So they'll get to that if they do. But Dark versus Dark in that one, okay. Lyra and Tatum though. Let's see what we get out of that. Lyra can't be running back in there on some super leader though. Like both of them need to play off of each other because I'm sensing that it's a little bit easier on the eyes so far as legit aesthetics, but it's that odd couple between like Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss a long time ago. I go back to this as a reference point sometimes, but that is really what I'm seeing. So let's see what we get out of it, and then we move on. Now, Trick Williams, Pete Dunne, double count out, table spot. I thought it was the main event. They backstage fighting the whole time. It was good. Javon Evans, Joe Coffey, good with the spin. Obafemi versus Stacks, obvious. Miss Parker versus Jasmine Nix, and Miss Parker picks up the victory, but the girlies were standing tall. Okay, fine. 2 days after surprise all by emerging. Oh my God, who's typing this? 2 days after surprise all by emerging at No Mercy, Julia took out blah 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 blah. All right, so the Roxy segment was the main event. I thought it was great. Shouts to Ava. Bruh, all great. And we not gonna call out Avery and the rest of them too back there. They had them all on cam. So shouts to Stevie and my man Mr. Stone. But yeah, Roxy is showing the differences between the hers and the thems. Everybody else is doing good right now. Miss Parker's right there. I mean, LaShawn right there. Jakara right next to her. You know what I'm saying? Tatum is. Tatum is alright. You know what I'm saying? But I like what Roxy is doing. And then there's a surprise appearance from Chelsea Green, which I didn't say it right. Yo, I was actually over the moon, and I was watching during the day, so and that was all great. And then there's Julia chick, man. She has that she got that factor that I know I be going for. I don't want to say demographically, but they'll follow behind it. I will drag that right along with me. But that's just me though. That's just me though. Now, that was NXT. That was Raw. I'm not complaining about it. We're gonna move forward over time, and if you shouldn't be watching this, and you know if I don't want you watching this, then goddamn shame on you. You know what's coming.